The history that these two have with racist Joe Biden, I'm going to say that again because they always say it about Trump. Racist on record Joe Biden. Well, I think yesterday was a day, and it's a series. They're going to keep coming of just vindication for Clarence Thomas and the ruling because of the past battles with Joe Biden. Here's a video. This is his what is it called when your confirmation hearing? This is, I think it was a part of a documentary where he's saying Clarence Thomas is how stupid and dumb and not knowledge Joe Biden is in this documentary. I'm going to have Kelly play it. Kelly, play it.
Good morning, Judge. Welcome to the blinding lights.
Look at that smile, that dork smile.
Finding out what you mean when you say that you would apply the natural law philosophy to the Constitution is, in my view, the single most important task of this committee.
Right, ready?
Senator Biden was very focused on natural law. How did that go?
Who knows? I have no idea what he was talking about.
I just want to make sure we all know what we're talking about. You and I know at least what we're talking about here. There's a fervent and aggressive school of thought that wishes to see natural law further inform the Constitution than it does now, argued against by the positivist led by Judge Bork. Now, again, that may be lost on all the people. You know and I know what we're talking about.
I have to be perfectly honest with you. You sit there and you have no idea what they are talking about. All I know is that he was asking me these questions about natural law. One of the things you do in hearings is you have to sit there and look attentively at people you know have no idea what they're talking about.
So dude, so think about this history, and for you guys, because I mean, Taylor, you might have, I mean, you were probably too young, but the history between these two, when Clarence Thomas was getting confirmation in 1991, Joe Biden, who's sitting there, he was the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and they put this black man, okay, through hell. Racist Joe Biden put this poor guy through hell, and that's why I think these moments, bro, 30 years later, Clarence Thomas is coming back in their faces with this right in their face. And do you guys remember, do you actually remember what he actually said? Because I'm going to have Kelly play this next clip coming up where he said he called what they were doing to Clarence Thomas high-tech lynching. And yes. I want, Kelly, I love you. Can you play, guys, this is when they give him the floor to talk. I'm going to let the whole thing play out. It's such a F you to what you're doing. And I think they might show Joe Biden's face, but it's a freaking classic. I watch this maybe once a month just because of everything that's going on, just to feel his hate towards this racist Joe Biden. Go ahead, Kelly.
Do you have anything you'd like to say?
Senator, I would like to start by saying unequivocally, uncategorically,
this is about Anita Hill,
that I deny each and every single allegation against me today that suggested in any way that I had conversations of a sexual nature or about pornographic material with Anita Hill, that I ever attempted to date her, that I ever had any personal sexual interest in her, or that I in any way ever harassed her. A second, and I think more important point, I think that this today is a travesty. I think that it is disgusting. I think that this hearing should never occur in America. This is a case in which this sleaze, this dirt, was searched for by staffers of members of this committee.
Joe Biden.
Was then leaked to the media.
Racist Joe Biden.
And this committee and this body
there he is.
Validated it and displayed it at prime time over our entire nation. How would any member on this committee, any person in this room, or any person in this country would like sleaze said about him or her in this fashion, or this dirt dredged up and this gossip and these lies displayed in this manner? How would any person like it? The Supreme Court is not worth it.
Wow.
No job is worth it. I'm not here for that. I'm here for my name, my family, my life, and my integrity.
Boom.
I think something is dreadfully wrong with this country when any person in this free country would be subjected to this. This is not a closed room.
Here we go.
There was an FBI investigation. This is not an opportunity to talk about difficult matters privately or in a closed environment. This is a circus. It's a national disgrace. And from my standpoint,
here we go.
As a black American, as far as I'm concerned, it is a high-tech lynching for uppity blacks who in any way deign to think for themselves, to do for themselves, to have different ideas. And it is a message that unless you kowtow to an old order, this is what will happen to you. You will be lynched, destroyed, caricatured by a committee of the U.S. Senate rather than hung from a tree.
Wow.
Wow.
Like, let me, guys, I had to play that whole thing. Freaking mic drop and then racist Joe Biden. Guys, I'm going to keep saying it. Racist Joe Biden thought that he was going to be the end of this guy. And 30 years later, he is shitting on you, on your leftists, on that committee. And by the way, that whole high-tech lynching, Joe Biden was the main lyncher. Like, go ahead, Humberto.
All right, talking about racism, you skipped my news story in the beginning.
What?
No, I'm joking. But look, he is so hard, surgical with his words. Like, you hear him talk, and every word that comes out of it means something. The pauses. And one of my favorite quotes from Sun Tzu is that if you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float by.
That's such a good one.
And that's what it is. He's done everything right, like integrity, studying, being on top of things. And this is what you get. So I encourage everyone out there, just do what's right and good things will happen to you most of the time.
Oh, and just hang around and wait.
Yeah, and, on the point of, you mentioned I was younger when this happened. When was this? What was the year?
1991.
Okay, I wasn't even born yet.
Great.
However,
I was about to go into high school.
However, that's the importance of knowing history and learning history. Because if you don't know history, it's very easy to manipulate the minds of the present. Because if you look historically, it is actually the Democratic Party that was the racist party. When you look at slavery, now they just remasked it and they recommunicate it. But if you don't know history, like, I bet most people don't even know that the first black person that ever ran for president was actually part of the Liberty Party, which was a Republican, which was Frederick Douglass in 1848.
Weird.
So, and there, when you look historically, you can see the patterns of the Democratic Party. Now they just restructure their language because exactly that. A black man was running for the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yep.
Could you imagine if that happened today?
No way.
And it was the same. Absolutely not.
What do you mean?
They never stopped being racist. It just took up racist Marxism. That is different. Like, how they always talk about the black vote, the Latino vote, this vote, this vote. Like, I'm Latino. I don't agree with my family members. Like, I hang out with black people all day. Like, they don't agree amongst them. Like, how's the black vote a thing that's so racist?
They only care about you if you agree with them. If you disagree with them, they don't give a shit about you.
If you're a voting bloc, they care about you. But, like, I don't understand.
And here's my thing. I just don't understand how African Americans, how black people cannot see this shit. Like, what is it going to take for them to realize that this party doesn't give a shit about you? Mind you, I'm Middle Eastern. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I don't label myself shit. I just vote for the best choice for this country. But I don't understand. Slavery started, Democratic Party. Oh, you hear all this shit. And then they kowtow. They try to culturally appropriate. Like, hey, we're white, we're cool, we love the blacks. No, they don't. Okay, they actually hate you. So start waking the fuck up and stop voting with this brainwash mentality. Fucking vote with your fucking brain. Okay, don't let your heart. Oh, they don't care. Racist. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, and say all you want about like Fox News, but if you compare CNN and how they talk about the black voter versus Fox News at this point, I feel like Fox News is less racist than CNN, and CNN is like. The way they talk about it is just like, well, the black vote, this demographic vote, they literally talk about politics solely in categories of identity.
Yeah, and not with policy.
And not with policy.
Just vote for us because we like black people and they hate you.
Exactly. And then what you have on Fox is them being like genuinely trying to make inroads with minority communities through universally good policies regarding jobs and economics. And so that's what politics should be. Whereas on CNN, they literally are like, well, why are black people going for Trump? We give them abortions, as if that like their mentality of what they think is so innately racist and has such a racist idea of what defines
what you just
a
said.
black person.
Guys, we're letting you have abortions. We're letting you ultimately murder more black people. And what the fuck are we talking about?
And then they're like, well, the only way this could be happening is misinformation. We have to keep censoring more people. That's like, they don't even think like maybe we need to do a better job by these communities to get rewarded by them with votes. No, it's someone else talking that's the problem. We need to stop them from talking. Like, what kind of mentality, what anti-American mentality is that?
Yeah, and I mean, how racist is it to think that all black people should think the same, like all white people, like all Asian people, like all women, and it's like that is the definition of racist. Because you look like this, you should think like this. It's like, no, we're all actually independent individuals that think separately. And the fact, like what you were saying, they want to, as long as you agree that your dependence on them and the fact that they give you happiness, that they give you freedom, then you're thinking correctly. It's like it's up to the government to provide opportunities to you versus, you're an individual. You can go, I mean, abortion is just a silly thing, but you have the autonomy to go be a Supreme Court justice, to go be the president of the United States, to go run a business. It's like, it's not, but what do they want to do today? The Democratic Party, I would even say it's on both sides too. They want to frame themselves as that your happiness and your success is thanks to me.
Mm-hmm. Can I get the
versus the individual.
No, yeah, go for it. We still got a couple minutes.
And they're out of luck. Because this country right here, it wasn't founded on race. It wasn't founded on a geographical location. This was founded on ideas. On ideas. That's what the founding document says. We have a set of ideas and principles that are beyond race, beyond religion, beyond anything that they can try to group.
Yeah.
It's out of there. Like we're an ideas country. And anyone that wants to join our ideas and our morals and our values is welcome, and they can hold the highest office. They can do whatever. And that's America for you. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And anyone can be American, right?
Anyone can be
American if you do that.
As long as you stick with the program.
And you stick to the program, you get it legally, right? And it's exactly what you said. Inalienable rights that were given to us by God, not man.
And
therefore, only God gives them to us. Man can't take them away.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that clip of Kamala Harris talking on the BET Awards where she's on FaceTime with that black actress?
Guys, I'm going to say the word again. Cringe, but go ahead.
The cringiest thing
She's so
ever.
cringy.
And she's like, oh, I'm out in these streets. It's like, you're covered in jewelry in a
Your husband's
$5,000
white,
dress
bitch.
from
Shut
the
up.
White House.
Your
Shut
husband's
up.
Your
white.
security drove you here.
And she's like, yeah, so I'm out in these streets and, people are saying, like, these radicals, these extremists, they ain't like us. They don't like abortion, and they like guns. And it's like this fear of this, like, yeah, there's just mobs of like white nationalists everywhere. And I alone can protect you from these evil, like, Klan members everywhere.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. What claims more black lives? Okay, what claims more black lives? Is it guns every year or abortions by black women?
Abortion.
Give me a fucking break. It's not even
In New York City, you have a higher probability of being aborted than you do born.
That's fucking crazy. And that's the
crazy.
party. Guys, are you paying attention? They want you to fucking kill black babies. Get it? They don't want you around. Like, I'm boggled. But it boggles my mind that these people think that we're all so stupid. And you nailed it. Like, listen, yeah, the country is founded, yes, because I know some people are like, oh, but they were slavery. Yes, they were slavery. Nobody's here's family or ancestors owned slaves. I'm Middle Eastern, okay? That was a shitty moment in our time, but like when people keep bringing up the race part of it, I'm like, guys, at some point, we have to get over it. I'm not saying forget it, but we are never, and this is what the Democratic Party does, keep us all fight. Race, yeah, but slavery. Like, guys, we're never going to move forward as a species, as human beings if we keep going, yeah, but 300 years ago, 200 years ago, at what point we're going to be at 1,000 years? Well, yeah, but 1,000 years ago, this small group of white people is like, guys, let's move on together because there's a bigger enemy. They say there's a way bigger enemy that wants to keep us fighting with each other so we can't get to them. So we're all just squabbling down here while they're running away and they're laughing their asses off about us.
Yeah, and if I can make 1 second, because 100%, and Thomas Sowell writes a lot about this, when you look at slavery, it was an evil that we did in our country, right? But it was also an evil around the world.
Everybody.
And so if you were to point fingers at everyone who had slavery, we'd all be pointing at each other through our ancestry. Not saying obviously today, but it was everywhere. I mean, he literally in Wealth, Poverty, and Politics, he talks about how pirates enslaved millions of people.
Yeah.
It's like it's an unfortunate evil that was everywhere.
Africans enslaved fellow Africans. They're the ones who sold them to European countries in the first place. And then in the Middle East, they had slaves. In all throughout Asia, they had and continue to have slaves. I mean, it's...
Do you guys know who during that time? Because I think America and Kelly... Oh, Rob, could you guys fact check me? How many slaves did America take in during the whole slave... I want to say 200 to 300,000, and Brazil took the most slaves. I think it was millions. So if you want to compare who had slaves the most, there's not even a question of... did you look it up, Umberto?
But if you listen to them, you would think America's just uniquely evil.
We're the only one.
Racist, terrible.
Rob, are you looking for it from here?
I am, but I don't. I'm looking American slave numbers.
Yeah, who took in the most slaves?
The problem is, then it brings up North America, South America, so it brings up the Americas as a whole. And according to the Americas as a whole, 10.7 million disembarked alive in the Americas. However, 12.5 million enslaved Africans were European and to Europe.
To Brazil. But I'm talking about like the whole America are during that whole slavery time. That I think the number's very, very low. But anyway.